right, so before we start the next session, I'd like to welcome our next success story. So this is from Richmond Koroko, Plastic Punch, Ghana. Thank you.
We cannot talk about the future without talking about the triple planetary crisis: climate change, biodiversity loss, and plastic pollution. Ohanigani, Kenya. My name is Richmond Kennedy Kwaku. I'm the director at Plastic Punch. We'll be presenting to you what we do. And because the next slides will be very disturbing, this is to show you how beautiful Ghana is. And the next pictures are not representative at all of the country. If you've not been there, you more than welcome to visit. We are located at the center of the world, rich in flora and fauna. So we are an NGO using citizen science to inspire behavioral change. We'll be telling you a little bit story. Our initiative started on the coastline of Ningo Pram, where we went to see sea turtles. Ghana is home to endangered species of sea turtles. Out of the 6 turtles we saw that night, 5 of them were dead. We could not scientifically diagnose what the cause of death was. But looking at the beach with all the plastics, as you can see, taken by our Spanish photographer, Eduardo Vazquez, there is a link with some of the plastics physically entangled in the, some of the turtles physically entangled in plastics. So we decided to act by bringing the community in contact with the problem. We clean wild beaches. These are beaches where people do not live. All the trash that comes to these beaches are brought in by the ocean current. So by bringing people in contact with the problem is by raising awareness. We are very much aware that beach cleanups are not the solution to the plastic pollution menace. However, when we go there, we collect relevant data on who is polluting and what is polluting. And we'll be speaking more about that. Also, these sea turtles, sea turtles come to the same beach where they were hatched, so we keep this space clean for the sea turtles, and they keep coming. Our events are plastic-free, also to demonstrate to the community using indigenous solutions like drinking in calabash, serving lunch in leaves, that yes, there are other ways where we could be plastic-free. This is where the operation gets interesting. So we sort out the trash. Volunteers stick to specific items. If you are picking shoes, you pick shoes. E-waste, you pick e-waste. If you are picking bottles, you pick bottles. Because we want to be able to recycle as much as possible, one, what we do with what the recyclers we have right now. So before talking about recycling, our model is specifically towards reduction. We believe that less plastics, better lives. Now we find these things on the beach. What can we do with this plastic? The recyclables, we have partners who change these plastics into bricks. We also have other partners who use them for shirts. We weigh every item we pick on the beach as well to understand what we find as pollutants. So a little representation of what our data sets will look like. And the next slide will be showing you what we do with this data set. So this is an example of what the pollutants are. And you can see the who is polluting is where we understand or carry out a brand audit to know which companies are polluting. We also are able to determine the recycling rate of these plastics that we find to be able to identify what is recyclable, what is not recyclable. We're also able to understand what is food packaging, what are household products, and what types of these plastics we are finding. So we do a correlation around a period, and this is the citizen science approach that we use to be able to understand with our awareness actions in the communities, what are we doing well, what we are not doing well with. So over the period, we do a correlation of all the different data sets that we collect. And these are for the polluters, the brands that are polluting. What we do with this data is we are instigating the extended producer responsibility with the brand audits data. It was supposed to be a law by December 2023, but with a lot of lobby going by with the plastic industry in Ghana, we are still churning this into the law with the help of the government and other stakeholders. Also, with the what is polluting, Ghana has become the first country, or Ghana is the first country to be able to report the SDG 14.1 indicators thanks to our data set. We also plug these data sets into global platforms and together with the Ghana Statistical Service. So with the what is polluting, we are also able to help the municipality where we work to improve their waste management situations. So this is a testimony from one of the communities we work called Nungwa. Before we got there, they had issues of flooding every year. And since 2019, they've not had any issues of flooding. So this is the Metropolitan Health Officer
what Legacy
saying
is doing
what we have
to
done
me
in the
is very,
community.
very important, because collecting these plastics, the toxic waste from the plastics that is causing aquatic death is reduced. And then this year, when we had flood, no water entered into anybody's room, and nobody complained about flooding too, because the system is now clear. Plastic punch may not know all the sources of these plastics. But if you engage community participation, they will now bring it from all the obscure corners, and then plastic will be out from our midst.
So that's testimony. You would agree with me. Thank you. You would agree with me the beach cleanup can reach only coastal communities, and knowing the problem and understanding the problem of pollution has to come in different forms. This is where we deploy several tools. We also carry out a needle hunt. We do waste audits in companies, in schools to be able to understand the problem and to be able to help them with their waste management solutions. For the tech savvy people, we have a game available on Google Play. We have an app to collect data on sea turtles so that we are able to understand where these sea turtles are popping up, and then we can be able to engage with our conservation efforts. We are also creating alternative packaging solutions. We realize that most of the waste we find is linked to the provision of clean drinking water and food packaging. So over the last 4 to 5 years, we've been doing R&D, research and development into using vegetal fiber into creating packaging solutions. We've been looking at hemp, we've been looking at cassava, we've been looking at seaweed and algae with partners in Angers, Eastham, and Notpla in the UK. This is what we call edutainment, and that is what is cool. Besides or beyond the coastal communities, we still need to send a message out. We have the Plastic Punch series, which are short episodes, and currently running on 8 TV stations in Ghana, and on social media. We invite you to on YouTube to check it out, Plastic Punch series. We have graffitis, music events, and others where we try to send the same message forth to the public in different ways and getting more people involved to be part of the change. There are workshops which we carry out. It comes in all different forms: organic workshop, composting workshop, upcycling workshop, and any kind of workshop you can think about, which usually happens with the beach cleanups because we do not want the children to clean so much. So I'll be speaking a little bit about some solutions we have a little bit further, and we say thank you very much. So Parks and Isopa will be speaking about Kwaisin. So Kwaisin is the Coastal Ocean Environment School in Ghana. I started in Ghana and Nigeria. I started as a participant, and now I am an instructor and organizer of the school. So what the school seeks to do is to build capacity in ocean sciences in Africa. So every year we bring professors from US, Europe, and then faculty and students all across Africa to be able to impact with ocean sciences, new tools in physical oceanography, writing Python codes. Last time we did codes with Giovanni, which is the NASA language, and other forms of tools that will impact to the new generation of scientists coming forward. We have received funding, more funding, extra funding, and will be coming to Kenya next year. So Wayomsa and the Kenyans, get ready for us. Most of the trash is linked to the provision of clean drinking water. So this is one of the innovations we have at Plastic Punch. It's called Insuopa. What this machine does, and you see, is it has 3 levels of filtration in there, and all you need to do is come with your own bottle, and then with a card, you swipe it, and you get clean drinking water. This way, we reduce or minimize having access to clean drinking water with sachet and bottles, which is a big problem, which is why we have a lot of pollutants according to our data sets. These are some of the alternative packaging solutions we are developing at Plastic Punch. We are still gathering or mobilizing the right funding to be able to set up a facility in Ghana or Nigeria to be able to take advantage of the African Free Trade and Continental Agreement so that we can be able to provide this hot packs to the whole of first starting from West Africa, then to Africa, probably beyond Africa, because there's the need everywhere. All right. So the triple planetary crisis continues to remain a global issue, and with active participation of local communities via citizen science throughout the planet, effective and positive change can be a reality. I would show you this video with one of our partners. We work with Global Citizen, which is one of our strong partners we have. And just to show you a bit of the energy that we have in the edutainment. And this was our last event at the Black Star Square in Ghana. So this is a free event. You need to do something for the environment to be able to get in.
Oh my kaba meka, oh my saba, my lava. The daba, oh my kaba, me say, oh my kaba meka, oh my kaba, my lava. Party, 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 party. See, all of the champion, all of them in the dance, put on a buckle up them in the air. Whoa, bust it up, stick it up, everybody.
So tell me what you need from me now. I know I can need to be now, cause I'm done with it now. No more damages, no, no, no more damages. Back then when I was a baby girl,
remix. You don't live the life, you just dream it. Don't mind them boys, they don't mean it. If I slap your face, you're gonna feel it. Slide in the middle like Grealish. My next six bigger than my previous. Red lights looking all greenish. Fake niggas call me blood, I get squeamish.
Activism can be cool. With collective action and responsibility, we can fight this triple planetary crisis that we have. Asante sana Kenya, merci beaucoup, akpena miakata.
Thank you so much, Richmond, for that inspiring presentation. We really appreciate that. And yes, Kenya is ready for you. You're most welcome.